Dinner guest, me. I know I am the Negro problem, being wined and dined, answering the usual questions that come to white mind, which seeks to merely to probe in polite way the why and wherewithal of darkness USA, wondering how things got this way in current democratic night, murmuring gently over phrases Du Bois, I'm so ashamed of being white. The lobster is delicious, the wine divine, and center of attention at the damask table, mine. To be a problem on Park Avenue at 8 is not so bad. Solutions to the problem, of course, wait. The poem displays the theme of struggle through the narrator showing that even when people show that they are ashamed of what their group or class has done, there is still no solution to the problem. Through literary devices, the poem emphasizes the narrator being privileged but only for a short time. He capitalizes the Negro problem because he wants to show that he is not the topic for the discussion, but his minority status is. Langston Hughes uses assonance with words like wine and dine because he is making sound in a tone that is flippant or a sing-song manner that causes the reader to assume that he doesn't see the sincere meaning in the discussion. He also creates a symbol in and of himself by creating his presence at the dinner table as the white man's guilt. You could even say that he is not a person in this poem, but a personified discussion. As I grew older. It was a long time ago. I've almost forgotten my dream. But it was there then, in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, between me and my dream, rose until it touched the sky, the wall. Shadow, I am black. I lie down in the shadow, no longer the light of my dream before me, above me. Only the thick wall, only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall, find my dream. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. Through this poem, Hughes creates imagery that suggests the narrator has an obstacle that disrupts his goal. He needs to get over the obstacle to move forward with his goal. The poem creates this struggle by using similes when he describes his dream. In front of me, bright like a sun. This gives the emphasis on the importance of his dream and what it means to him. The wall symbolizes his obstacle to getting to his goal and uses personification and imagery to describe how big the hurdle is for him. Between me and my dream rose until it touched the sky. Then the poem starts to end with him trying to break down the wall. Hughes uses metaphors to describe the scene. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of sun. This creates imagery and significance as to his character that he won't stop until the wall is down so he can move forward. Oppression. Now dreams are not available to the dreamers, nor songs to the singers. In some lands, dark night and cold steel prevail, but the dream will come back, and the song break its jail. The theme of struggle is developed from this poem from the word order and diction Hughes decides on. In the poem, he decides to use not and nor instead of using slang because it emphasizes the negative. The dreams that are not available and the songs that cannot be sung are emphasized to present the negative form that some people are in because of their society forcing their voices to keep silent. The lines break its jail are spaced because it is signifying the time it will take for the singers and dreamers to have a voice once again. The line gives off a feeling of hope because it could possibly trick the reader into thinking something negative will happen, break, but it ends up to be something positive for the reader, its jail. Justice. That justice is a blind goddess, is a thing to which we black are wise. Her bandage hides 2 festering sores that once, perhaps, were eyes. The feeling of struggle intertwines itself in the poem because it is hoped that the struggling will stop someday. Hughes helps demonstrate this by using not only a metaphor, but personification and word choice as well. Hughes uses the metaphor that justice is a blind goddess because it helps give the reader a comparison to how Hughes views the topic in question, justice. He capitalizes justice because it is not only supposed to be emphasized, but seen as important as well. It also sets up the next lines to where Hughes makes it known that his people, African Americans, are able to see the justice that they do not have. Through personification, her bandage hides 2 festering sores. It gives the reader a chance to visualize the injustice that he believes African Americans went through. It is used to bring to light a topic that is hidden behind something that is meant to be for all. He finally uses the word choice to shed light that any hope for them is unforeseeable or left open. Once perhaps is used this way to show that Hughes is giving the reader a chance to see that maybe something will happen, but he is as clueless as to whether or not justice will ever be found for them. Lonesome place. I got to leave this town. It's a lonesome place. Got to leave this town 'cause it's a lonesome place. A po-po boy can't find a friendly face. Going down to the river, flowing deep and slow. Going down to the river, deep and slow. 'Cause there ain't no worries where the waters go. I'm weary, weary, weary as I can be. Weary, weary, weary as can be. This life's so weary, it's about to overcome me. In this final poem, Hughes uses the theme of struggle to exemplify not only how the group feels, but an individual as well. It gives a personal account and emotions as to their relationship with struggle and their seeking for hope. He does this by using repetition, like with the word weary and lonesome, to evoke emotion into how the narrator feels about his situation. He repeats lines and words to show the emotions of nervousness, and he wants to hope for the best, but is scared of the journey there. Hughes also uses allegory with water because it could signify many different things for many different people: peace, hope, calm, strength, etc. Lastly, he uses diction to define who this author is. There is slang like po and flowin', and this is able to set up the character of the narrator about where he could possibly come from geographically and possibly his innocence to what goes on around him.